Hello, everybody. This is Elijah Keating from wisdomseekers.net, and we're here today with Maddie's mindful meditation. And of course, we're going to talk first. We are not taking questions and answers. This is not an interactive, and that you may ask questions on the subject we're talking about, which is really a very interesting subject. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about, Maddie?
Are we going to talk about this?
I think so. I think it's pretty exciting, actually.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about October 22nd, 2022. Venus aligns with the sun and also moves into the zodiac sign of Libra, where it will be for the next 100 years. And it hasn't been there since the 1770s, I think it says here. Yeah.
But just think about that. That's Libra, which is the planet Venus is Libran, and Venus is moving into Libra. So we're going to be in the sign of love for 100 years.
Well, that'll be lovely.
I like
a nice change.
It may be, depends where we are on the karmic trail. If we're spiritually advanced, have done our work, it might mean we get to be in love with people and be loved back. But it could be, because it's about love, it might be lessons on loving oneself. And it's always going to be lessons on loving oneself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love. And I'm going on my soapbox. My soapbox has this to say: as much as you love you is as much as you can love others, and it's as much as you love you is as much as you can receive. Because if you have 50% self-love, you can't get 100% love from other people, because you can't accept it. It's very logical. You can't see something where the space is empty. So bottom line is, learn to love yourself, flaws and all. Right?
Oh, so easy to say.
So easy to say. But the first place to start is forgiveness.
Yeah.
And once you forgive yourself for being yourself, which people have a tendency to not do, you know, how many people do you know sit there and complain and say, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that, instead of, I messed up, okay, I've learned that, I don't need to learn, I accept it, let's go on. We all do. But I did learn early 200s, actually. I did learn, I had a huge lesson in forgiving myself. And from then I extrapolated a lot. And I did start to learn to love myself, accept who I am. And when I'm a total idiot, I go, oh, okay, won't do that again, touch wood, because chances are I will, but I'm not going to hold on to it. And you keep going from there. And one of the things I like to talk about is the razor's edge, right? It's on the spiritual journey we're on a razor's edge, which means we have very little leeway to go to fall off and fall off the path, because there's many ways to get to enlightenment or spirituality, but the one you choose is very, very, very limited. So when you fall off of it, what do? Shrug your shoulders and get up again. It's that simple and that hard, right?
Yeah.
And
so you definitely have no choice but to keep going.
Well, you do, but well, I've seen the people who choose not to. They go into a horrendous amount of pain.
Yes.
So if it's easier to not give in, align. Yeah. So, and
Well,
all,
that's, back to what we were talking about the last time we were here was learning to go with your breath and
Mhm.
go within. It takes practice, I think.
It does. It's not so, it's simply not that easy. And
It's
honestly,
easier than it is.
it gets easier as you do it more than once.
Yes.
But it's also easier if you have somebody who can say, "Hey, do you know what you're doing?" And smack them on your, go bang. You know what you're doing?
No.
I'm not listening either. but it is easier to do it with others who will help you, support
Yeah.
you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to somebody that is like-minded, for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes they're not like-minded. Sometimes they're totally on a different path. But at that point, they've got the right answer for you. So that's when the universe being left of center. You can never trust the universe, It's always going to do something. It's always going to do something you would least expect.
Oh, that is so true.
I know. Gotta love it. Anyhow, what was the next? I stopped you. I'd like to hear more.
Oh, that's all right. So every 8 years, Venus orbits around the sun and forms a 5-pointed star or a 5-petaled rose called the Star of Venus or the Rose of Venus.
That's pretty.
So this Venus point occurs on October 22nd, 2022, is particularly significant as Venus and the sun are aligning in the last degree of Libra, which according to moonomens.com indicates we are navigating a time of completion, fulfillment, closure, and resolution of karma. So this is it. Your karma, whatever, be it good or bad, this is it. This is when it's ending, one way or the other.
So in 1997, I believe, or 98, we lived in Mexico at the time. And they were saying that the devil's reign ended, I think it was 98. That was the last year that the devil was actually on Earth. Well, I would say from things that have happened, his minions are still very active. But I do believe that the reign of the devil was over, and we're just going through I don't know, release,
like a cleanup period.
Because the prophecies have it that we're moving into 800 or 1,000 years of the golden. It's just simply called the golden age,
right?
Which would mean that we're not moving into karma, and karma is a negative, right? It's never a positive. If I understand right, dharma is the act of living, karma is the act of paying back. So, and correct me, that's the Hindu religion. That's not necessarily a North American viewpoint.
You would think karma would be what you've got coming. To me, it would be what you've got coming to you.
Well, usually it's a negative, not a positive. But I do know for a fact, because I was given this information, once you clear your karma, you don't pay your karma back because you know the lesson. If the person you're having karma with hasn't learned their lesson, they still have to deal with it, but they don't deal with it with you because your karma is done.
Right.
So, but correct me if I'm wrong. Since 2012, each year has gotten a little harder and a little harder and a little harder. And for the last 3 weeks, and I'm going to be very graphic, it's like we've been having elephant poop dropped on top of us, right? Rather than just sort of dog piles. So,
Yeah, I
so,
would agree with that.
so basically that would indicate that there's a lot of karma being cleaned up, because please God, we don't want those piles stuck around forever.
No.
So that would be an indication that yes, karma is coming to an end because we're dealing with it. And I'd like to ask you this question. Can you have you been able to evade it?
No.
Exactly. It's do or die. So
Wow.
I think yes, I think karma is maybe not today or tomorrow, but very in our timing, extremely fast, which maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Hmm.
Touch wood. I mean, what was it, 21st of this month? That karma comes to an end, or we move into
22nd.
22nd, but that's in like 2 days, 3 days, 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's in 2 days. So even when 2012 happened, everybody expected the end of the world, or right now it's going to change. Well, it was a tipping point only, and it's got worse and worse and worse. So karma may get a little worse for the next few years until it drops off. I know, breathe, hey?
You're really going to have to learn to breathe.
Yes, I know. But at the same time, if you've done your lessons, it should be easier. But I know for the last twice I've got caught in oh my God, I feel like crap. In the last 3 months, twice. It doesn't happen to me. I mean, bad things happen to me, obviously, but I don't get caught up in the drama of it. But twice I did, and I'm going, what? What? And then I realized what was happening and I dealt with it. But and that's the thing, right? If you know how to deal with it, you know how to deal with it. Let's see what Jennifer says. My Taurus sun sign is ruled by Venus. My sun sign's ruled by Venus. Eric B. Jones. Hi, Erica. I said, oh, pardon me. I said your name wrong. Greetings, ladies. I pray all is well with you both. Sending positive vibes from Miami, Florida. Oh, cool. Jennifer Swab says, yes, I agree that the energy has been very heavy and messy for a while. It has. That's why I use graphic conversations. But
So you want me to read some more?
yes, please.
Okay, so I don't know what this means. Tanaz from Forever Conscious, who we love, by the way, explains further. There is also an additional alignment of the two goddesses, Venus and Haumea, the dwarf planet.
Let's find out who Haumea is.
Named after the Hawaiian goddess of birth, symbolizing a powerful fusion of feminine energy. This is further enhanced by the fact that Venus will be aligning in her ruling sign of Libra, which has not occurred since the 1770s, which I've already said. With Venus and Haumea coming together, we can notice themes relating to fertility and childbirth, the rebirth of heart matters, a deepening in our relationships, particularly with women, an activation of divine feminine energy, and an increased need to create nourishment and comfort. Plus, Saturn stations direct on this day, and we are deep in eclipse season 2. This creates a lot of intense and transformational energy to work with, especially when it comes to our relationships, matters of the heart, and expression of the feminine. I think that's about it. We hope the star point starts to usher in the beautiful Venus and the Libran energies that we have been hoping to see in the world for a long, long time. It might be the start of the foundations for creating our new Earth. So yes, it does sound like for the next 100 years, it's all going to be about love, love, love. Less war, I'm hoping, less shootings, less
I'm sorry. I just reading what Erica says. I enjoyed your explanation using the elephant and poop. Thank you, Erica. I do think love is going to be something that people have to learn to accept and live with.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something that's really controversial. And I'll do respects to Dr. Jordan Peterson, who says that if you're in a relationship with children, you should stay in the relationship because it's better for the kids. And yes, sometimes it is. But if there's no love there, the children are not going to be brought up in love.
No, they won't see love. They won't know how to give love.
Yeah, so it is better to choose love over fidelity, I believe. And I think that is contrary to many.
Well, you look back to our generation, right, where parents stayed together no matter what.
Yeah,
Happy
my
or not.
mom and dad did, and my mother was miserable. My father was a miserable man.
I mean, my mother and father didn't, but
Mhm.
it's still, I still do remember when they were together, you know.
And that did not give you a good grounding in love, did it?
No.
And I do know my mother said to me, because I would ask her, why do you stay? Because I could see it was not good. And I was a young teen, not an old teen. And she says, well, it's very bad for your reputation if you leave.
Yeah.
And
Well, it just wasn't done back then. You stayed no matter what, right?
and I know at
And
the
that's probably why people died young, I bet you, because if you're unhappy, what the hell is there to live for?
well the truth is that the more spiritual the world is, the longer we live. And with your in a marriage that is bitter, you're not happy, that's not spiritual.
Right.
But I do remember telling my mother, wouldn't it be better to be away from and living in poverty than to live the way we do? And she looked at me like no comprehension.
Mm.
But I knew, for instance, when there were games on and my father's mind was occupied, I was ecstatic because I knew I was not going to be screamed at or yelled at or punished for doing nothing. And I don't think that's the way you want to bring up children.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And I mean, I moved beyond it. And being a medium, this is telling, I suspect. My father died when I was 40. That's 30 odd years ago. I have never gone to talk to him, and I won't. So that is that, I forgive him. I don't want to talk to him.
Right. So this is a little quote that I have off Facebook. By loving them for more than their abilities, we show our children that they are much more than the sum of their accomplishments.
Okay. Explain it.
Well, I think it means that if you love your children unconditionally, right?
Okay,
No matter what they do, just not by their abilities only. Oh, you're so good at this, so I love you, love you, love you. And oh,
Yeah.
you're good at that. So, but
Okay.
to show
no,
them unconditional love.
And that's one of the things that children need, to be loved unconditionally.
Yeah.
In that respect, to get a full actualized human being. I think that's another Dr. Jordan Peterson thing, which I do agree with. And mostly I do agree with Dr. Jordan Peterson a lot. But a follow-up to that is, when I was in grade 1, I was classed as retarded because I'm dyslexic. They didn't have such thing as dyslexia back then.
Right.
As soon as my father got that stigma, I felt like he threw me away. He just he just didn't treat me the same afterwards. And I to this day I would say, yeah, that was a day I was not good enough for him. And if my mother had moved out, would I have had all that trauma to deal with? Probably because I'm dyslexic, I would have, but maybe not.
I don't think you would have, or maybe in a certain way, but not feeling like you were discarded because of it.
I did feel discarded. Before that, my father read books to me. After that, he refused to read books to me. So Jen Preston, thank you very much for outing me. She says, hello, sweet ladies. Happy birthday, Elijah.
Oh, happy birthday. Yes, I did wish you a happy birthday this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would have totally forgot.
I was going to let it pass.
Didn't out you on here, someone else would have.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I've been getting happy birthday since 5 o'clock this morning.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she laughs. She thinks it's funny. So there's one person that I sent a message to. I said to that person, I says, just think happy birthday to me. I'll pick it up. And I did. It was really cool. I was curious about telepathy and stuff, right?
Great.
Oh, thank you, Erica. She said she offered a glass of wine, I suspect. I'm a teetotaler, but I'll take it.
Here. Did everybody see that?
I whisper what WTF to myself at least 20 times a day. And that's the truth. And you know what?
Oh, cheers to you.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter really how spiritual you are. We're still human, right?
Well, and I think that's it. I think a lot of people think because you're spiritual, you can't swear, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't have fun.
Oh, Erica loves your cup.
Thank you. I do too.
But it should be the opposite. And I frankly have taught people how to swear because it's good for you. It really is.
Well, I don't need a lesson, that's for sure.
I had a meeting with a lady the other day and I don't know why I mentioned it. And I apologize for what I'm going to say. And she says, oh, I'm really, really glad to hear that because I fucking swear all the fucking time. Okay.
Oh, you even said it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I hope nobody pays attention. I hope I'm small enough. And they bleep me out when they have to.
Oh, you'd be amazed at how many videos I listen to that say that all the time.
I think so, but it really is. It's the first thing. It's a lymphatic this system back here.
Lymphatic?
I think but it's the earliest brain.
Oh, okay.
So when we swear, it actually gives us endorphins.
Huh.
So that's why you swear when you stub your toe, because it makes it feel better, literally. Okay, Jen says, as you also said yesterday, the people figure if we are spiritual, we can't believe in God. Jennifer says, happy birthday, Elisha, from Tyler, me and Tyler. We hope you're having one. I did.
That's the second time I've heard somebody say that in the last few days, that if you're spiritual, you don't believe in God. Well, where the heck do you think it comes from?
Yeah. I mean, my question to that is, what do you believe God is? What's your definition of God?
Mm-hmm.
I could give you my definition of God. My definition of God is that it is so huge, I can't give a definition. But it's definitely not a white-haired old goat sitting up there with a long white beard telling us we're bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is, my definition of God is, well, we're part of God for one thing. Can't exist without God.
Exactly.
And he's it beyond our way beyond our comprehension. And it doesn't care if we scream and yell and rant and rave at it. It's going to sit there and go, okay, darling, I hear you. I'm your God. I'm not your friend. You know, same thing you say to your kids when they have a temper tantrum. I'm your mom. I'm not your friend. Doesn't care, but
Yeah.
we'll support you in whatever you try to do if it's
Mhm.
honest. Okay, Erica says right on the bullseye. I think that's what it means. I won't feel so bad when the F-bomb slips out. Yeah, you shouldn't. It's healthy. Jen Preston said that. Jennifer says, I try not to swear all the time, but sometimes I can't help myself. Yeah, sometimes
I don't even try anymore.
I go overboard, then I pull myself in. Erica says, me too, Jen, but sometimes it feels good. Yeah, sometimes, when I'm working with somebody and they've held in their anger for years and years and years, I'll tell them, I want you to tell those F ... exactly what you think of them in no uncertain terms. And guess what? They always feel better afterwards. Anyhow, let's go back to unconditional love.
I'm telling somebody to have to break off it's unconditional love.
Yeah.
Unconditionally love to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, that's true. What my daughter is saying, that when you tell people to unconditionally F off, it is unconditional love, because they don't have to accept it or take or not accept it. It just is. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Is there more to the what you were reading?
No.
Okay, let's see what this. Oh, I lost it. So Humaya is a minor planet designation, dwarf planet beyond Neptune. I don't know anything about this. And it was just, and it's been, anyhow, that's stuff I don't care about. I guess I should, but I don't. But I guess if it's a new planet that's come in, then it's new aspects of the astrology that would be coming into play that haven't been played for. Erica says, hey, yeah, Elle. She waves at you. It would be new aspects of our personality coming online, which maybe has to do with love, because she's the childbirth, the goddess of childbirth, you said? Right?
I said what?
She's the goddess of Hawaiian goddess of creation.
Oh, childbirth and fertility.
So that's basically a lot to do with love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that because children, so one of the things I know, somebody said they were told to work through something by finding their most happiest moment. I said, that's easy, when your children were born. And her face lit up. So yeah, love, well, at least for women, it might be a little harder for men. I don't know this, because I am not one. Is that when the baby was placed on my stomach and chest, the instant feeling of all encompassing
Unconditional love.
it was exactly that.
Overpowering.
So that memory is an easy one to pull in when you want to allow yourself to move beyond your present lessons.
Mhm.
And just remember, they are only present lessons. They're not forever lessons. Not nowadays.
Oh, you'll get new ones. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, but I mean, long gone is a time when we had 64 lifetimes to get through a lesson, right? Now we've got maybe 64 minutes if we're lucky. So,
Yes.
so what else? Well, okay, we've been on talking for half an hour actually,
Why does time always go so fast when we're talking?
because we have fun.
I guess. We'll
So-
stop
so
it.
there's one thing on what that article said that I kind of like to take exception to.
The one that I read?
Yeah, not what you said, but the article said. And that was that it's a time for women to become more powerful. It's a time we all should become more powerful, not just women, but men in equal measure. We want it to be a balance, because if the men aren't powerful, then the women are out of balance. And with the women aren't powerful, the men are out of balance. And we don't need that, because we've had, what is it, 4,000 years of the men in ascendance. Before that, the women were in ascendant, and it was both of them were very out of balance.
Yeah.
So for us to go forward in strength and power, we need men and women to be in power, empowered. And to me, it's the pendulum has swung one way and it swung the other way. Now we want it to be in the center. Yes, Jen, we do need to be equals, very much so. And this is something I talk to women about all the time, and they all tell me I'm wrong until they suddenly realize I'm right. And like I say, I'm always right? Is that women are we're the anchor. We're the ones that are stable, and we should be stable and strong and rooted to the earth. We're earth creatures, because we give birth. We give birth of human bodies, which is of the earth, right? And we also bring in the spiritual soul of a child, which is of the universe. So we are the anchor. We're the ones that are there. And our job is to be the anchor. It's to let the man know how wonderful he is, so he can go out and become more. And when he becomes more, he comes back and he makes you feel good. He does for you. And it's a give and a take. And I've done this with different, I've done it with grocery boys. And when they tell them, thank you, how good you are, they've come back and given me extra because of it. Not because I was stroking their ego, but because they felt valued. And when they felt valued,
They felt valued. They felt like
worthwhile.
Yeah.
And because they felt worthwhile, they would go the extra mile. And because they felt valued, it was reciprocated. I felt valued.
I think that goes all ways, so with men and women, you give them a little more.
Yeah, and what women don't understand, because we've been taught to not be female, which is total mistake, is that when you do that, I feel good, they feel good, and it's
like that domino effect, right? Then they're going to make somebody else feel good, who will make somebody else feel good, and so on and so on.
Yeah, well, it's like a smile. You give a smile to somebody on the street, that smile goes for 6 months. So if you tell somebody thank you, how valuable you are, that may go on for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And let's see what it says. Yeah, okay. Jen Swab says, I agree, equal power for men and women. Jen Preston says, too many of us aren't living as equals, but you have to think of yourself as an equal. Bethany Campbell says, women hold the lantern for men to see how to cross the river. I like that. That's a nice saying. My mother would say this often. My father was very stubborn. Yeah, men can be. Jen Preston says, too many of us do not feel this way even in our own homes. But that is a lesson. And that's not okay. If you've got a hook and you point a finger out, that is your lesson. the only person who can make you feel valued in your own home is you. The other people will react to you and mirror back to you how you feel about yourself. But if you change how you feel about yourself, they will also mirror that back to you. It may take them a few weeks or months, but they will.
That kind of goes back to what we were talking about, loving yourself 100%, because if you don't, then you can't receive back 100%.
And that's exactly what it is. And I see you've got the Paleo Santos on. Did you want to explain about it? And while you do that, I'm going to say namaste. We may or may not have a pop-up this week. I kind of hope I can talk people into it. And I am
Oh, I'm in. If you don't need me for interactions, I'm in.
interactions. You get great interactions. It's an interactive you don't want to do. Okay, yeah, we should we should set up a time to do a coffee talk. We haven't done that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, namaste.
Sunday probably the best day.
Probably, usually is. Okay, bye.
Talk to you soon.
Yes, of course.
I wasn't trying to rush you off, Elijah.
No, we've been on for 34 minutes.
Get my Palo Santo going.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And you want to explain about it too.
I do. So
Okay.
I did find my little write-up about Palo Santo, and thank you, Elijah, for always giving me this platform. I appreciate it so much. I did find my little write-up on Palo Santo, which, as you can see, it's getting down to the nitty-gritties here. So it's a mystical tree that grows on the coast of South America and is related to frankincense, myrrh, and copal. In Spanish, the name literally means holy wood. It's part of the citrus family and has sweet notes of pine, mint, and lemon. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. Palo Santo is enjoyed by many for its energetically cleansing and healing properties, similar to sage and cedar. I did actually hear the other day that it is even better than sage and cedar. It is strong medicine that has been popularized for its heavenly presence in keeping energies grounded and clear. It creates a pleasant, fresh smoke that works well in keeping away mosquitoes and other flying insects, which is pretty handy in the summertime, which is one of the prime uses for the people who live in Ecuador and Peru. It provides an uplifting scent, and it really does, that raises your vibration in preparation for meditation and allows for a deeper connection to the source of all creation. It's also said that Palo Santo enhances creativity and brings good fortune to those who are open to its magic. Palo Santo is traditionally used for relieving common colds, flu symptoms, stress, asthma, headaches, anxiety, depression, inflammation, emotional pain, and more. The essential oil is great for aromatherapy and can be used during massage work to assist in healing. It's great for calming the immune and nervous systems, for faster recovery of illness. In essential oil form, it works well for physical pain and inflammation containing high levels of limonene and monotropines that are useful for cancer symptoms. Use Palo Santo is very simple. You just either clear space of negative or unwanted energies or cleansing for your crystals. That's about it. So you just, yeah, like I said, you can use it in place of sage. It smells divine. And it also has great health benefits. So we'll now get into the meditation. I'm so fortunate that I have a beautiful beach not far away from me that I have spent a lot of time at this week, and it's given me inspiration for my meditations. So if you could please get comfortable, sink into the comfort of the surface that is beneath you. Take a deep breath in. Bring it down into your belly. Concentrate on the air filling your stomach. Fill your lungs. Slowly exhale anything negative, anything that may be pulling you down. Take another breath in, and this time see a beautiful golden white light come up through roots growing out of your feet, connecting you to the heart of Gaia. With every in-breath, you can feel the energy of this magnificent light fill your body. And with every exhale, you relax just a little bit more. You find yourself sitting on a beach. Your toes are playing in the sand. Even though it's late fall, the sun is still quite warm. A gentle breeze blows against your skin like a gentle caress. You lift your face up to the sky. There are gentle wisps of clouds that look like angel wings are coming down to wrap around you, to bring you comfort, security. It's all so peaceful. You are feeling so content. You stop to look around you, and in the distance, you see a young girl trying to fly her kite. And she keeps trying, running as fast as she can, throwing her kite up, hoping it will take flight, until that last time where her kite finally catches the wind and soars like the dragon it is. She squeals with glee, filling your heart with so much love and joy. It brings a huge smile to your face. You gaze out over the lake and see a few rowboats gently gliding across the water. Everything is so calm, so serene. The sun hits the mountainside, showing you the different colors of green that the trees are showing off. And growing out of what seems like solid rock. Proof that perseverance and determination win out every time. You glance to the left of you, and you see a very brave soul taking to the lake for an invigorating swim. He doesn't seem to be bothered by the chill of the water as he dives under and continues swimming on. Out of nowhere, there is a gentle, slow rumble of a train going by, slowly rocking the ground. It's quite relaxing, calming even. He blows his horn, much to the delight of all the children. A few more people start to gather on the beach. Some walking quietly, enjoying the freshness of the air. Others sitting peacefully, reading a book, or lifting their faces up to the sun, eyes closed, enjoying the feeling of the warmth on their skin. And yet others are trying to find treasures buried deep beneath the sand, metal detectors in hand, feeling the excitement right along with them when there's a loud beep. You take in a deep breath. A feeling of gratitude washes over you. You're so very thankful for being here right now at this moment. The water on the lake is so calm, it looks like glass. The sky is the most beautiful blue. The wisps of clouds have dissipated. And the sun is shining so bright and just so warm on your skin. This is so what your soul needed at this time. It was like the universe beckoned you to the beach, giving you the gift of reconnecting with Gaia. Not only do you give thanks for this amazing connection, you return gratitude right down to the heart of Mother Earth. Taking a nice, deep breath. Connect with Gaia to her core. Bring the beautiful white light up, releasing it out the top of your head on your exhale, showering you with the light, wrapping you in a solid veil of protection, giving you a feeling of peace, love, and joy, connecting to your heart. Take in another deep breath. On your exhale, see a cloud filled with love dissipate out, covering the entire world, filling the hearts of every earth being with the peace, love, and joy you hold in your heart. You take in another deep breath. On your exhale, slowly open your eyes and return to the here and now. And welcome back. I'd like to thank you all so much for being here this evening. So appreciate all of you and love all of you. What can I say? But don't forget to spread the love. Thank you so much. Namaste.